All right, welcome everybody to another awesome show today. And we are good to go. So, let us go. That's the way we do it here. When we're ready to go, we're ready to go. Hope everybody is enjoying their week so far. What I wanted to do was continue on with the series article reviews. Got to keep knocking these out till we catch up to the other series. Episode 5. Do soulmates exist? Well, today we're going to go over a naysayer, somebody who doesn't believe. Sadly, she's a columnist, an author as well. And, just because somebody can write a book like her doesn't mean she's right. So I hope she didn't say anything in her book about soulmates not existing, because she's dead wrong. It's been proven by the existence of humanity itself. It's been proven over and over again that soulmates do in fact exist. Soulmate relationships do in fact exist. For if one denies the existence of a soul, one denies the power of the human spirit. Like those stupid scientists who insist that, humans have feelings in the brain. Are you stupid? We feel it in our heart. End of story. Science needs to shut its mouth when appropriate, because you can't make a science out of things that are naturally true. You don't need science to prove it for you. Nor religion, nor history, nor politics. No type of indoctrination to point out the obvious. Because without the existence of a human soul, we would in fact be robotic. I would speak to you like this without any emotion because I feel nothing at all. You see how unnatural? Robotic, right? Unfortunately, many people do. In fact, fall for such propaganda. So let us proceed with what this crazy, insane article says. Now, mind you, I did not read it at all. I just know what it's about, roughly. Sorry to break it to you, but your soulmate doesn't exist. This is the garbage we're dealing with. Writers who actually come out and say nonsense like this. No doubt she's been burned in the past, looking for an excuse to deny the happiness of others, because she hasn't felt true love. That's the end of that. Okay. Do you believe in soulmates? Are you in a relationship with yours? Yes. I'll answer her questions. Or are you waiting, looking, longing for your other half to come along? The concept of soulmates is one of the more pervasive myths. Says who? Says you? Of our modern society. Excuse me? The concept of soulmates has been around for centuries. And its origin is a work of fiction. Says who? In Symposium, Plato. Oh, Plato. Now Plato has all the answers. Let's see what Plato has to say. Described early human beings were born with two faces. Oh, this was the psycho. Yeah, the dude who lost his mind. 2 lots of sexual organs, 4 hands and 4 legs. Well, obviously that's a myth. But why are you touching the topic of soulmates? That has nothing to do with 4 arms and 4 hands and all this insanity. That's clearly a myth. The god Zeus chopped these 4-legged humans in 2. Were you there to see that? You see, you're the one speaking insane topics here. Not myself. This is unbelievable. The concept of soulmates is completely believable because we have a soul. And they each spent the rest of their lives trying to find their other half. That's just stupid. That's so violent. That's actually satanically evil right there. Look at what they're saying. Chopped, that means to kill. An imaginary creature, a four-legged human. Do we have four-legged humans, people? I don't even want to hear the evolution of the monkey named Lucy, because that stands for Lucifer. And that the earth is tilted 66.6 degrees. Nonsense. I don't want to hear any of that garbage. Just look at it naturally and logically. Does that make sense to you? Already she opened up their article with this insanity that you see before you. Completely demented out of her mind. And we haven't even really gotten the horse going yet. Love, Plato wrote, is the name for your pursuit of wholeness, for your desire to be complete. Okay. Well, there is a saying, you complete me. I mean, you don't need Plato to say that. It's just these are things that are naturally evident the more mature you become as a human being. Hopefully. Sadly, the majority of people don't ever mature. They become these evil, demented, possessed monsters. And angry at the world, and they want to tear you apart. Anybody that, like zombies feeding off of brains? Well, they feed off of other people's happiness and ambitions. They want to tear you down, crabs in a basket. That's what the unhappy people do. Really, Plato? Does that sound healthy? We humans latched on to this idea of twin souls. No. Not twin flames. That's a completely different satanic version of soulmates. Natural soulmates. And when we fall in love, we believe it to be true. Romantic love can feel like finding your other half. No. Each one of us are complete. We have to find that when we say our other half, it means our partner to complete the heart. Not our souls. Our souls are not split in half with this twin flame nonsense. You have your whole soul intact. You just need to find your other half of the equation to equate to becoming soulmates together as one. Two souls become one. It doesn't mean you lose your soul. Oh my goodness, man. It's like 1 + 1 = 2. It's trying to teach somebody that. Well, in this case, it would be 1 + 1 = 1, right? Or 2 plus... No. Yeah, 1 + 1 = 1. But it's not mathematical. This is a different context. Romantic love can feel like finding your other half when really it is a rush of Oh, not this again. The scientific mumbo jumbo. Oxytocin, dopamine, and serotonin. We already went over this in the previous stream. Oh my goodness, here we go again. Not only did she mention the myth of gods and cutting four-legged humans in half, but here we go with the scientific mumbo jumbo. See, this is completely demented nonsense right here. Designed to science does not belong in the love department. If you want to study basic human biology, or human anatomy with the reproductive system, so be it. That stuff is true. But when it comes to feelings, emotions, and stay out of it, science. You guys don't have the brains to even, or the heart to even, no intelligence. It's incredible how stupid these people are. This chemical surge drops off after the initial limerence period. Don't even tell me you've ever heard of that word before. Because if you have, you live under a rock. You must really live under a rock. So it's probably best to hold off getting married until then. What the heck are you even trying to say right now? This is already pathetic. So early in the article. It's just insane. Leaving aside the improbability of finding your soulmate in a population of 8 billion, the world is not 8 billion. Sorry to break it down to you, but there is no 8 billion. If there was 8 billion people in the world, you would not be able to call a number, order pizza, delivery, pickup. You wouldn't be able to get a hotel room, People have no idea what 1 million people looks like. Just 1 million. So multiply that by 900 million more, and then add 100 million more to get a billion. You don't even know what a billion people alone is. So many people. It's already been proven that the earth is not overpopulated, that everybody can fit in like the state of Texas. But nobody wants to research it. Because they like to be ignorant. They like to believe whatever science says. The soulmate ideal is demonstrably false. How so? Explain yourself, genius. First, if we each have only one soulmate, how can we account for all the widows and widowers who have fulfilling romantic relationships after their other half dies? That's the tragedy of life. Yes, your soulmate can be taken from you. Destiny has a perfect life plan for you. But if evil gets in the way, that's not Destiny's fault. Destiny's enemy is evil itself. In fact, the enemy of nature itself is evil. You have predators killing innocent animals. Yada yada, storms. I can go on forever with all kinds of examples of evil that people pay no attention to whatsoever because, well, they're stupid. That, you know, they choose to be stupefied. It's not my problem. I notice a lot of things that people don't notice. I don't go around calling people stupid. I just call the ones who, like this person here, you're denying something because you haven't observed. You haven't made that observation yet. You just assume that the earth is 8 billion populated. You just assume that, oh, tragedies. Well, how can you equate for tragedies? If you're a religious person explaining how God works in mysterious ways, then yes, that's applicable. But not to somebody like myself who comes from a natural logical perspective. Just look at my channel description, for crying out loud. Anyways. We don't have to account for these tragedies because it's the inexplicable. If it happens, it happens. It's a tragedy. That's why it's a tragedy. It's not destined to be. Evil comes whenever evil does what it does. And there's nothing we could do about it. Good people die every day. That doesn't mean that they were destined to die. It just means that that's a tragedy. That means evil wins again. Either by probability or by direct assault. I'll tell you what, evil moves in mysterious ways. I'll tell you that much. Alright, so who recently remarried after losing her adored first husband to cancer. It's just, well, you have no other choice. Either, and you have to agree with that with your soulmate. What happens if tragedy strikes? It's in my book. I write about this. You have to agree, okay, what happens? Am I supposed to see somebody else? Are you going to see somebody else? Because I'm out of the picture. That's something that you guys have to decide. It's for nobody else to decide for you. I can't even decide that for you. You two need to make that call because it's part of the great mysteries of life itself that needs to be respected. And then you have the freedom to choose in that sense. So if your loved one dies, your soulmate, you guys have to discuss that before the death actually happens. It's like preparing your will. Many people don't have a will prepared upon death. If you don't have a will prepared before death, then that's your fault. You were not prepared for when tragedy can strike. That's your guys' responsibility. It's not for destiny or for me to say what you guys should do if tragedy strikes. It's for you guys to decide. Everybody's different in that regard. My own grandmother, who spent 27 happy years with her second husband, is another. What your grandmother does is that's her business. That's her choice, right? I mean, if she made bad choices, she made bad choices. If something bad happened, something bad happened. You can't control everything. Some things you can't control. I can advise you to go into the right direction, but if tragedy strikes, that's not my fault. That's evil coming into your life for some reason, unknown, and just taking what you worked so hard for. Heck, it can strike anybody. But don't go pointing the finger at me. I mean, because the best things we can do is focus on the productive. On trying to be as happy as possible. So, no, unfortunately we can't, I mean, that's why I follow my own destiny. I trust the signs that it's giving me. Can I prove that destiny exists? Yeah, yes and no. Some parts are they just happen. I can't prove to you, but other parts, when they happen, I'm like, that's not coincidence. That's right at this second, at this minute, at this hour, at this day, at this time, right? I mean, you can't deny the existence of destiny when stuff like that happens. It's more than just coincidence. So to deny that humanity are spiritual individuals, that we have these beliefs through our feelings and our senses, perhaps even a sixth or seventh sense, that's being ignorant. That's following, oh, science hasn't discovered it, so we must only have 5 senses, like a bunch of idiots. Let us proceed, shall we? Second, if soulmates are real, why do so many of us who marry? Marriage is a choice. You can be in love and find your... oh my goodness. You don't have to get married in order to prove that you're soulmates. Our proclaimed soulmate get divorced years or decades. That's a failed relationship. I mean, if you guys get divorced, it's for a damn good reason. Were we horribly mistaken at the time we wed? No. A potential soulmate means you're in training, both of you. So whatever becomes of you both, that's up to you. All that is up to you. That's why I wrote my book and I made my movie. I'm trying to help you guys so that your relationship doesn't fail. But if you don't want to take it, my advice, at least try to learn by yourself or ask other people who have successful relationships like I do, because that's like your insurance right there. Follow the winners. You know, that's what mentors do. We try to train people to say, hey, you want to have a similar life that I have? Because I want to share this with you. I want to teach you how to get rich, or how to get rich in love, you know, finding your potential soulmate, which I think is far more important than money, but to each their own. All right, let's continue. Or more likely, do people change, and the person who feels like a soulmate when they are 25 feels irreconcilably different when we are 35 or 50? That's your choice. It's consistent persistence. Persistent consistence, right? It's an every single day effort. That's why I mentioned the word perfection. Perfection requires constant effort. Now and forever. If you can't look your partner into the eyes and say forever, you're not serious about your relationship. If you're writing like this loser is right here, you're not ready for a serious relationship. You're too immature. You're too weak. Love is real. Yes, it is. Compatibility is real. Yes, it is. Spending our lives with another person with whom we feel deeply connected is real. But soulmates are not real. Why would you say that when you just said everything else is real? I mean, have you no soul? You have no feelings? I mean, you just said everything correctly, but then you ruined it with this. And the belief in soulmates, though romantic, it has nothing to do with Rome. Because that's where the word romantic came from. Can be unhelpful at best and toxic at worst. How would it be toxic? I really hope she explains her jargon. I mean, because this drivel right here is just unbelievable. Unbelievable nonsense. She's just denying just to deny, to sound edgy. But she doesn't give a firm explanation as to why. So let's see if she finally does here. The soulmate ideal creates unrealistic expectations of our intimate relationships. Yeah, because you're lowering your expectations. Even Mad TV, the show from the 90s, had they had a skit called Lowered Expectations. And they would show like these horrible examples of relationships. It was funny. It's up to you to decide the quality of your relationship. It's up to both of you, in fact. What happens to a team if they choose not to work with each other, right? You get a bunch of prima donnas, and then when the game finally comes, you lose the game. You had the world's best players, but their egos were too inflated. They didn't know how to work as a team, and you lose the game. You could have you know, I could go into war with the best automatic machine gun, rocket launchers, flamethrowers, all in my backpack, and like 5 pistols, like the Matrix, like freaking 8 pistols strapped to my body, and knives, and somebody can just come up right behind me and pop a bullet behind my head. It doesn't matter. It's always going to come down to human effort, right? And that's why myself, as a martial arts practitioner with over 30 years experience, you have to maintain yourself physically, and also for battle whenever possible, self-defense situation. A relationship is the same way. It's each and every single day. So, I mean, it's not unrealistic expectations. Wouldn't you want the best partner beside you? And in war, wouldn't you want the best soldiers surrounding you? I'd rather have 100 lions than 1,000 sheep. That's who I'm going to work with. That's why I don't even brag about, oh, I reached 100 subscribers. I've had 2,000 subscribers in the past with the Truth Channel. I'm not about the numbers. I'm about who's by my side, who's with me, who actually gets it. Same thing in a relationship. You want the best of the best by your side. If you have lowered expectations, that's your fault. That's your failure, not mine. If we expect another person to complete us, that's you're not understanding. You don't get it. It doesn't mean that we're inadequate and we need our partner to complete us that way. No, we're fully adequate and we want to be the best of the best to our partner. They complete us because they give us someone to give all of our love to. Someone who deserves us and we deserve them. Understand? I mean, this lady right here is an author and a columnist. I feel really sorry for her. This level of immaturity, maybe she grew up without a dad or a quality father to show her, like, you know, because sometimes these women, they don't understand. They just don't get it. They never will. They'll remain ignorant forever, spewing this drivel right here. This ignorant drivel. We don't do the work of completing ourselves. Oh boy, if we expect our partners to be our soulmates, we might panic when we have a difference of opinion. No, you just squash it. You just have a simple discussion. What's the problem here? Or a conflict or a moment of irritation. Irritation? Are you that weak? Just talk about it. Communication is key. See, I mean, she has 3 kids, by the way. She mentions in her profile. Maybe she went through a divorce too, because we'll see at the end what kind of type of other articles she's written. I love my partner deeply. I don't think you know what love is. But if I believed in soulmates, how could I explain his passion for rugby? What? What? Such a brutal sport, or his lack of enthusiasm for my beloved cat? What? Are you serious right now? I did not expect to see such ridiculous writing. What does rugby and your cat have to do with soulmates? His passion for rugby and lack of enthusiasm for your cat? Your Honor, I rest my case. Let us proceed. What the heck, dude? Oh my goodness gracious. That's gotta be one of the worst things I've ever read. Oh my goodness. I might actually provide a timestamp. Oh my goodness. Oh, get it together. Okay, where did we leave off? The cat and rugby? Okay, cat's playing rugby. Got it? Let's proceed. A belief in soulmates can keep people in bad situations. I can't leave him. No. That means it's not your soulmate. If the relationship turns abusive, if there's something to panic about, like, I mean, really worth panicking, not cats and rugby, then that's not your soulmate. You guys might have got close to that status, but swing and a miss. I hear some women say he's my soulmate. Well, a lot of women misuse the term soulmate, trust me. They found somebody they care about, and then it develops into love, and they think, oh, he's my soulmate. No. Have you at least been with that person 10 years minimum? I mean, 10 years minimum. Because I would say 20 years. 15 years, 10 years. It depends. It depends on the maturity of both partners involved to become soulmates, to be able to use that word. I've been with my partner for over 20 years. I have a right to use the word soulmate because we're soulmates. We don't argue. We don't have bad days. Every single day is a fantastic day. Even times like, oh, she's got the cold. Okay. Or, hey, I'm feeling too tired to do this. Could you mind doing that? I mean, we're a team. We make it happen. We always see the beauty in every situation. Glass is half full, never half empty. Let us proceed, though, with this ridiculous article. Oh my goodness, man. The man might be abusive. He might make her feel sad. Hell, he might have a wife tucked away somewhere. That's not your soulmate, then. I mean, how ridiculous can you be? That's not your soulmate, like I just said. But they misuse the term soulmate like this author is misusing it here in this article. This ridiculous cat rugby article. But she'll stick with him because Plato, and Plato too. Why the heck did you bleep? You just ruined your article with all this nonsense. Like your article is so ridiculous. The fact that soulmates aren't real is good news. That's because you keep saying that. I mean, look at this self-talk. She's part of the self-sabotaging disorder that I made a video about. Many people don't even know they have it. Oh, that's not real. Perfection doesn't exist. Wow. Really? That's because you're saying that perfection doesn't exist. There are plenty of examples of perfection that I've went over so many times. And I'm not going to spoil the ones that are in my book or in my movie. Those are beautiful examples of perfection that nobody can deny. But you have idiots like this saying, soulmates aren't real. And that's good news. Wow. What a loser. There isn't just one person who is right for us. There are, in all likelihood, a few. Oh, she doesn't get it. She'll never get it. We don't need to, once again with the population lie, we don't need to search for the 1 in 8 billion. That's not, oh my goodness. Look, let me put it to you this way, you little child. When you're looking for the one, if you're not attracted to the Chinese, if you're not attracted to, let's say Asian people, black people, European people, let's say you're attracted to American people, right? From North America specifically, right? Everybody has their type, right? Whether it's race, ethnicity, even age. You know, if they're more mature than they are, you're like a younger person, older person, right? Like more mature. Or you're the more mature one and they're the younger. Everybody has their preferences. So your whole 8 billion argument goes down the toilet. Because in life, you're only going to meet not a handful of people. Well, I would hope so. A handful of people as candidates. Because if you have to go through dozens and dozens, you're just going to fail for the rest of your life. You got to be a sniper, not a machine gunner in life. Okay? This isn't like dual-wielding Kimbo-style pistols here. You got to find the target and give it the best shot, headshot. You got to find the one based on who comes into your life, or if you go on a vacation and you find exotic people that you're attracted to, maybe you might want to move over there. I mean, it's that simple, right? But you have to make that happen. And especially in my movie, I go over that part. In my book, too, with vacations and such. But in my movie, really powerful. It's in the beginning, too. Or stay attached to the wrong person. Well, that's your lot. That's your decision. If you want to be a loser and stay with the wrong person, that's your fault. It's nobody else's fault, baby. We can simply aim to find someone with whom we are compatible. Well, if you want a mediocre relationship, mediocre relationships are everywhere. People not even trying. Yeah, you look okay. We'll be okay. Oh, my life is okay. Meh. It's just another day. Oh, the mediocrity. Who makes us feel good and whose company we really enjoy. This is so stupid. Nonsense, I hear you say. My partner is my soulmate. Absolutely. Stole the words right out of my mouth. And I'm really happy you believe that. Are you? Are you? Like, you see, this is her doubting herself because she's anticipating what somebody like me, who has indeed found his soulmate, would say. Like, she wants to be where I am. But then she's going to say what? You probably love your partner deeply and you're very well suited. But that's excellent good fortune, not magic. No. Destiny is magic. Pure magic. I can tell you love is magic. Magic transforms you from the inside out. And it is fortune. Good people, I believe, karma exists. You can call it whatever you want. Karma will come around. Whatever you want to call it. I don't care what you want to call it. Something is there to, when, what is it called? Good things come to those who wait, right? Those who are patient. That's true. And that's exactly what happened in my life. I felt like she came into my life in a moment where I was like, am I going to find the one? And I did. It happened just like magic, just like destiny. It was like, oh, wow, I barely even had to move a finger. Well, because I'm such a good person, good things do come to those who wait. But you have to also be a good person. I strongly believe in that. And if you hadn't met your partner, if they lived in Antarctica, or nobody's living, stop being silly. Or Zanzibar. You see how these immature folks, they have to exaggerate, like, from 0 to 1,000, like... These are desperate folks right here, unhappy individuals. Like, they can't focus and explain things accurately. They have to bring up Plato, cats and rugby, and all this other nonsense. The population of 8 billion, that fantasy number that science brainwashes people for because of the climate agenda. Yeah, you heard me. You would have met someone else. Oh my goodness, man. How do you know? That's the beauty of destiny, is that you can't say, this is what the Matrix actually explained. Choice versus prophecy, which is pretty much destiny, right? When you really nail it down. No. The illusion of choice. That's what the Merovingian explained in part 2. He was saying, wrong. Choice is an illusion given by those who have power to those who don't. That's why you think your vote in politics counts. No, it doesn't. You think the world elite are going to let you decide who the next president is? And the president doesn't even do anything. He's just a puppet in chief. Who really pulls the strings behind the curtain of the Wizard of Oz? Of course you don't know, because you're stuck on your stupid vote that doesn't even count. Of course you don't know how to research. When I tell you, you might want to research that, of course you're lost. Of course you're going to be like, well, I don't know what he's talking about. He sounds stupid. I don't know how to do research anyway. Because you're ignorant. You're an ignorant loser, and you're going to keep believing that your vote counts, that the world is 8 billion when it's not, because of the climate agenda. And when the climate agenda hits, you're going to be like, oh, UN Agenda 2030. I didn't even know. Now I know. Well, don't come running to me to explain it to you. Because you want it to be ignorant. Ignorant is bliss. Leave me alone. I got other things to do. I'm not going to sit there explaining things to you that you didn't want to hear before. As for Plato, well, he really pulled the concept from thin air. He died without even marrying. How do you know? I wasn't there when this supposed Plato existed. That's why I'm not religious. I wasn't there when supposed Jesus or Muhammad or Allah or God or all these terms, and I respect the mystery of life. I'm not going to be like, oh, you know what, this person existed even though I never met him, and you know what, history says so yeah, let's just blindly believe them. Historical indoctrination and religious indoctrination. He may have invented soulmates. No, he did not invent soulmates, but he never found his own. Wow, man. Oh, give me the patience. Give me the patience. I thought this was going to be an easy article, but here we are. What other articles did this lady write? I track my daughters with an app. Good parenting or weird? Wow. Way to track your daughters. KGB, right there. Communistville. How sad is that? So much for freedom. Is surveilling our children healthy for them or us? You're talking about health? I am starting to doubt it. Doubt what? Jeez, you already said that you track your daughters with an app. Alright, let's look at the next article. There are many challenges to being divorced in midlife. See, she probably already went through a divorce. She's all grumpy and mumpy. And she's going to say that soulmates don't exist. Because your life is messed up. Crabs in a bucket. You want to try to bring others down who actually have found their soulmates. Or who are about to find them. And you want to discourage them. That's it. That's what, people, they just want to grab onto this edgy wagon. Oh, you sound so edgy. I like the way you said that. Yeah, this doesn't exist, man. I mean, there are lies in this life, such as the population lie, and so many lies in history, in politics, yada yada. But I mean, to just come out and claim that something doesn't exist when I'm living proof that yes, it does exist, but of course you can't prove these things but when you feel them and you say, no, this is real, and other people feel the same way, obviously it exists. The feeling, right? But you have people like this come on and say, no, because you haven't felt what I feel. It's that simple. That's why you say it doesn't exist. People think they're smarter than they are. Apparently, I'm one of them. For all of my writing and all my education, all my critical thinking, I am actually pretty stupid. Well, you got that right. All right, let's go ahead and move on. Now, this is just a screenshot that I took of a basic search. I have a couple of these. Let's see what Google thinks soulmates are. Let's see how ignorant Google is. A soulmate is a person with whom one has a feeling of deep or natural affinity. A soulmate can be a close friend. No. It's not a close friend. You already done messed up, Google. Or a romantic partner. Oh, my goodness. As long as there is a unique, deep connection based on mutual understanding and acceptance. Well, it's a lot more than that. And it's a lot more than just a romantic partner. A soulmate relationship may involve... May? Well, I guess if we're talking about your friend... Similarity, love, comfort, intimacy, sexuality, spirituality. Spirituality doesn't mean religion, by the way, as always. It actually means your emotions, right? How you feel. So that's the spirituality. Like if you're feeling in good spirits, that means you have good emotions, energy and motion within you. Compatibility and trust. Absolutely, the trust part, Compatibility, yeah. I mean, if you guys aren't really compatible, you need to work on that ASAP, as soon as possible. All right, so one more little Google search. Soulmate. A person ideally suited to another as a close friend or romantic partner. I don't know who started the whole close friend thing, but that's nonsense. That's not a soulmate. I think what they mean by that is that if a brother of yours dies, then you can speak to them and they can communicate with you. Like I could believe that a lot more than gods and prophets and somebody who's died that you felt really close to. Fine, but that's not your soulmate. That's simply your relative. Label it brother, aunt, uncle, father, mother, whatever. But that's not your soulmate. This is a really wrong use for the word soulmate. Because you're talking about the mating of souls. You can't mate your soul with your brother, or with your father and mother. Mating people means together as one. I mean, you had a strong relationship with these people that you grew up with. But in the end, by definition, in order to mate souls together, I mean, you guys can hold hands as family members, but when it comes to your romantic partner, which is far more than that, by the way, to become soulmates, yes, in the end, you do feel as if your souls have mated together as one. You cannot do this with your brother, sister, or father, mother. This is a really horrible definition, and hopefully in the future they're going to update this definition, because they actually updated certain definitions recently to include other things. So Just because it's there doesn't mean it's right. It needs to be modified, just like a lot of things in this life that people just accept just because they are. It's like, no, we need to be very careful the way we define this and that. Otherwise, there's going to be a lot of confusion. Alright, so that's the end of that horrible article. Let me take a look in the chat, see if there's any sign of intelligence out there. Give us hope, please. I mean, with the time difference and everything, so, usually people are having, dinner at this time. Yeah, okay, that's okay. They're going to be watching it later. Good stuff. Alright, so I'm going to sign off for now and look forward to another great episode tomorrow. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and maybe it might be a different series tomorrow. Who knows? Just be around to find out. Take care.